All right. Good evening, everyone. Okay, so today we are on module 7. We've got 3 more modules to go, and we will be completing our diploma modules, right? And then it will be all revision time for those of you who are sitting. Okay, as long as you follow us module videos and on the on the YouTube and the Gmeet, I think it will be a breeze to ace the exam, in fact, right? So just remember, revise and all that, and all will be good. Yeah. Okay, so today's module is all about body, mind, and soul. So we are going to learn about healing. Our body, mind, and soul are connected, right? So if one becomes weak, the others are also affected. So healing becomes it's needed that you have to heal both your body and your mind and your soul. So true healing involves these three. Of course, not forgetting our emotions and energy field. When all of these are balanced, healing becomes much faster, and you can see the results and all that. Yeah. It's all on the YouTube, and also we have, if you are in the groups, right, it's all posted there. We've actually compiled all of them and put it there, so it's easier for you to just click on and watch. So it should be there if you are in any of our groups, right? The healing groups, I think Mr. Ambige Bala, Kim, myself have been posting. Yeah, I think you should get those recordings. It's present there. Yeah. Okay, so today's module, it's about body, mind, and soul. Okay, right? So the learning objective of what is it about, right? So body, mind, and soul. How thoughts affect our health, our emotional healing, spiritual hygiene, and holistic healing as well. So we're going to look at them, what are they, and how they actually combine together, how they actually help our physical body become better. All right, and to also maintain a healthy lifestyle with that as well. Yeah. So why positive thoughts, healthy emotions, and spiritual well-being are just as important as for caring for the physical body, right? Okay. So understanding the concept of body, mind, and soul. See, the body cannot heal if the mind is full of fear, of emotions, are overwhelmed, right? Likewise, spiritual imbalance can also affect or influence emotional and physical health. So it's very important that they have to be all in tune together in order for healing to take place as well. Yeah. So understanding how the body and the mind can affect the body, it's very important. It's just like, imagine you have a stool, okay, a three-legged stool for an example, and then each leg supports the other. But if one leg breaks, the whole stool becomes unstable, isn't it? Right? So our body, mind, and soul work exactly the same way. If one suffers, the others are also affected, right? So it's just like a stool which has got three legs, right? So if you look at, imagine that. So our body, mind, and soul. So they all play a part together and all, right? Okay. Watch this one.
Oh, the doctor can say whatever they want. My body heals itself. I must allow my body to heal itself. And I will do that. I'll allow my body to heal itself. To all the cells in my body,
To all the cells of
whether it's a growth or no growth, thank you very much for whatever you have done for me.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's work together and let's eliminate all of the cells. Let's heal ourselves.
Let's heal ourselves.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's all. You start saying that. Bring the inner healing that you have inside everybody. Everybody have an inner healing. The plant, you cut the plant, you go down, you cut the tree. If something starts growing on the side.
Remember, our body wants to heal. Whether are we allowing it to heal is the question, right? Because sometimes we put the block that body cannot heal, or the doctor said this or that, and then healing doesn't take place. So all these will actually affect the progress of healing, right? And we were going to look at it in detail today, right? So ultimately, we are body, mind, and soul, and they work together as one team, right? You can't separate them, right? Because they work together as one team. Okay, so we have a physical body, right? The physical body is where we have the, our things that we can touch, like our eyes, our nose, our hands, and all that, our limbs and all. And there are organs internally that we cannot see, but they are in our physical body. Our heart, our liver, our gallbladder, all the other parts in there. Fluid, the blood, the plasma, the platelets, the water, everything is fluid that's flowing in and all that. And solid, of course, the bone, right, which give us the structure of our body. So all of this is needed for our body, right? And the physical body, of course, it needs good nutrition, clean water, proper rest, and exercise and healthy environment. So our body is like a machine, amazing machine. It needs fuel. So the fuel is healthy food, right? If you put in healthy food, you get enough energy. And of course, enough water. Some people don't drink enough water, and then the body it's not able to throw out the toxin. So water is important, right? Drink water to clean the body and the system as well. Okay, exercise, some walking, chair yoga, bed yoga, do something so the body and the muscles need movement. So when we move and all that, our muscles are also gaining strength. As we get older, we have to do certain form of exercise to keep our muscle strength as well, right? Remember, muscles are, you don't use it, you lose it. Okay, healthy environment, like clean environment that we live in and all that, so that we get good hygiene and all. So the body is made up of trillions of cells, and every cell responds to the messages we receive from our mind. Okay, so it's very important to look after our physical body, right? So our physical body need proper nourishment, like healthy food. So prana rich food, right? You can eat some salad, cucumber, and all of these. And of course, less heating of the food, cooking of the food. Don't overcook the food, especially the vegetables and all that. You need more prana in the food so that it goes and enriches your body. And that actually helps, right? Water, clean water, right? You can energize your water through the PVH water bottle, through the mug, through the healing wand. You can energize them. Vitamins and minerals. If you're taking proper healthy food, then you may not need so much of supplements, right? But in a third world country, or they may need more supplements and all that, right? But for people who are in, like, generally you can eat healthier food, where you have a choice, then you need not have too much of over supplements as well, because sometimes these supplements will be wasted because your body doesn't really need them. You are getting it in your normal food that you are cooking, and that's much better, right? And oxygen, of course, proper air and all that. Breathe. Many of us do shallow breathing, and it's very important to do inhale, exhale, deeper breathing, because your body and your cells need the oxygen and all, right? Rest and sleep, of course, it's very important, because when you rest and you get proper sleep and all that, the body starts healing. So when someone is sick, right, or even personally when I am sick or unwell, the first thing I do is I'll go and get some nap or sleep, because then I know my body is healing. When I sleep, my body is repairing itself, right, and preparing whatever that is needed, and it's like building up its own forces to fight against the germs and all that, right? So sometimes sleeping helps, and it's important to sleep. Yeah, the body makes its own helpers, right? We all have our own antibodies. Whether it's going to protect our body or not, it all depends on us, our thought forms, our auto suggestions, and also the kind of diet that we have been consuming. If you've been eating too much of junk food, then the body becomes very lethargic and not able to fight on its own, right? But if you are looking after with good diet and and all everything else, then your body should be able to produce antibodies on its own. So you don't really need antibiotics, because those are just external, right? Unless unless you're very sick and you really need them, then it's different. So the body has the own capability, because our mind is so powerful that we can actually influence our own healing and all that. Yeah. Okay. And then we have our hormones and all that, right? And these hormones, for an example, just like our body is like a machine, to work well, it needs the right fuel every day. So healthy food provides the energy and nutrients. So water keeps our cells hydrated, right? Vitamins and minerals keep the body function properly, and oxygen is needed for every cell to work well. And rest and sleep, as what we spoke earlier, helps in repairing and recovering, right? But at the same time, the hormones and enzymes and amino acids and proteins and your fatty acids and all these makes the body more immune, right? It makes it stronger. Our body, because it the hormones acts like a chemical messenger. So the enzymes helps to digest the food and support the body functions. And amino acids are building blocks for the protein. So fatty acids supports our cells, brain, and hormones. To produce these naturally, the body need proper nutrition and healthy lifestyle. So again, all this is only possible if the healthy body environment supports the healing and overall well-being. And only this is possible if we eat healthy food, we get regular proper sleep, we exercise, right? And manage our stress and stay hydrated. And all this will help us to produce the hormones in the right level and enzymes it needs to function. Unhealthy food like junk food, poor diet, not drinking enough water. Sometimes suddenly you are like, wow, overly thirsty and you need more water. So you have not been drinking enough along the day, right? On the throughout the day, and then that suddenly the surge of needing to drink so much of water. So that you don't wait until then. Drink every time when you can, sip some water, because sipping, you don't have to drink overly too much, but you need water to keep your body healthy and for your cells to be healthy. So drinking enough water is very important. And too much hot or too much cold food is also not good, or drinks is not too good, right? You need the right um amount and the proper moderation of everything. Everything in moderation is the best for our health. Okay, anything too much of something, it's not going to help us in any way. Okay, eating too much of processed and unhealthy food and skipping meals and not drinking enough water can actually affect our health. Even I have the habit of skipping meals sometimes when I'm so busy at work. Sometimes I forget that I want to complete my work, that I forget to actually eat. So I do buy biscuits and just keep there so that I can just munch on, because you see, whether we want to eat or not eat, our stomach is already producing the hydrochloric acid. So in order for the hydrochloric acid to be balanced, right, like there's no food inside, so to get it to so you munch on, like not those kind of like creamy biscuits or crackers, just something that is just dry biscuits will actually help to use the hydrochloric acid in the right way, because if not, it's going to like affect our stomach lining and all that. So yeah, so it's very important. If you don't get to eat, at least have some biscuits or something, a cream cracker or something just there at the table, so that at least you can munch on. Right, some healing tradition, of course, they will say that drinking extreme hot water and all that is good, but it's not good, because it affects your throat and your esophagus. Right, you may not see that in the beginning when you are younger, but as you get older, like we have some PVH members who have actually got issues when they have been drinking too much of hot water, right? Because it's not meant for that hot. It's supposed to be room temperature water, right? Okay, and making healthier choices every day makes the body stay strong and all that. So looking after our body doesn't require complicated steps and organic food and all that. Eating well and proper diet and all that, it itself will help us, right? So eating balanced meal, drinking plenty of water. Plenty of water doesn't mean gallons of water. Okay, every one of us, our body size and makeup is different, right? So drink accordingly to your needs. Doesn't mean that someone says no, you have to drink like 3-4 liters of water, then you just gulp it down, because your body may not need that much, right? So listen to your body, be more attuned to your body, and sip the water as and when you need and all that. Yeah, stay active, sleep well, manage stress, think positively. All these are important for the well-being, for our health. Okay, so you see the many intricate nerves and arteries and all that inside, and each of them are doing something that we don't even know sometimes, Yeah. So we know our glands are all here, and this endocrine system is very important, right? Because it's producing hormones, it's doing all the necessary work for us. Okay. And our job is to at least help it to function better, right? Because by putting it all the unwanted stuff, it's going to affect, right? So let's be kind to our own body and all. Okay. Right? The power of the mind. It's very important, the power of the mind, because our mind is an important, um, it can influence so much. And sometimes we listen to others and not listen to our.
Chitra, we cannot hear you. I think you are muted.
Messages.
Chitra.
Is it okay now?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay, sorry, I don't know what happened. Yeah, sometimes I think maybe the internet, right? So again, I will just repeat that part. Yeah, the power, the mind is the power of the mind. It's very important because it's the most powerful part of our existence, right? Every day we receive thousands of messages from the doctors, any family members, television, social media, and society. So these messages slowly become our belief system. Whatever we repeatedly believe influences our emotions, our behavior, and even affects our health, right? So constantly we are being programmed from young all the way till we become adult and all that. So when are we going to take charge of our own mind and be in charge of what we want to receive and what we don't want to receive, right? Because we have to be selective what we want and what we don't want, because there's so much of information out there. Not everything is good for us sometimes, right? Sometimes they are just auto suggestions. Some are good programming, some are bad programming. So it's very important what we receive and all that. So many people sometimes they unknowingly allow others to control their thinking, right? So like our experiences, beliefs, words, environment, repeated suggestions. Like my doctor said this, my therapist said that, my teacher said this, my master said that. So why professional advice is valuable, we should also avoid developing limiting beliefs that stop the body's natural ability to heal, right? People will say 101 things, but we should know what to take and what not to take. I remember when I was younger, when I was doing my A levels, right? In Singapore, we call it JC, junior college. So I remember this particular astrologer, I guess. I don't know. My mother was seeing for us all. So we were there, and then he said, "Oh, he said, oh, I won't pass my A levels and I won't go to university." Then I just looked at him. I just kept quiet. I just looked at him. But that what he said, I wanted to prove it wrong, and I worked so hard, and I did well for my A levels, and I went to university anyway. So yeah, so it's not like someone belief or someone's words should affect you, right? So again, we must be in charge of our life and be in control of our own destiny, because we are the ones who make our destiny, not someone else determine our destiny, right? So yeah, I mean, take what's important. What is not good, let it go. What is good, receive it, that kind of thing. Okay, then of course we have something called placebo effect, right? And this placebo effect can either heal by the body can heal by itself, or the positive belief activates healing and thoughts change physical health. So the body has a natural healing ability. Okay, even though the pills contain no medicine, right? Like sometimes you see the sugar pill that is here, it says, right, someone who's given a sugar pill was someone is told like, oh hey, this thing will heal you or will help you to get better. Immediately the person starts believing and they will heal themselves. I remember one of my colleagues grandmother. So the grandmother had cancer, right? And nobody told the grandmother. Okay, and without her knowing, right, she actually survived for the next 5 years. Yeah, she survived well. But the moment one day accidentally the doctor didn't know that she didn't know and told that she actually has cancer, She died within 3 days, lah. So can you believe the effect, right? How a person knowing that they have a disease can actually kill you without even the disease killing you. It's the thought that you have a disease kills you, right? So it's very important how we have to trick the mind sometimes into believing that we can become better, we can heal and all that. Yeah, seriously. My colleague was crying. I mean, it's his grandmother. I mean, she's old. She was 92 or something. But the thing is, she could have, they wanted her to live until 100 years old. Lah. She could have actually. But, but because of that, that fact that she had a disease killed her, right? It is not a disease that killed her, right? Because she had been living with the disease for the last 5 years and she was fine, right? So you see, so how our belief system can actually influence our healing itself, right? Okay, and of course, nocebo effect. So sometimes when you have a nocebo effect, it's the opposite of thinking differently, isn't it? That means like to say that when people believe they cannot recover or that something will help them or will not help them, the negative expectations increase the stress, anxiety, and interfere with the recovery itself. So nocebo effect is the negative beliefs that can harm, like the fear, the doubt, the hopelessness, like nothing can help the person and all that. So the thoughts, our positive thoughts and belief can heal or harm us. So it's very important how we think and what we think. So imagine when little children, when we tell them wrong things, they can actually believe in that. So imagine your body is like a big boss, right? So imagine your body is like a big company and your cells are the workers. So your brain is always the brain is the boss, constantly sending out messages like emails and announcement. Now let's say the boss, the brain, keep sending out panic messages. Hey, we are in danger, things are bad. The worker cells, your cells get stressed and then they stop doing the regular work. Because why? They are worried in the panic zone. So so exactly like repairing tissues or fighting off illness, instead of focusing on emergency mode, right? And if this keeps happening, the health is going to suffer. So, but if the boss starts sending out positive and calm messages like, hey, we are safe, don't worry, things are going well, then the cells can actually relax and get back to their normal, the routine of healing themselves. So keeping you strong and healthy. So that's what Bruce Lipton says. If we work on our thoughts and beliefs, making them more positive and empowering, we can actually change how our body will actually function and down to cellular level, right? So diseases are not there to stay with us forever. We can become healed if we want to heal. So our health is in our hands, basically, right? So the main message is we are not stuck with the genes. We are born with the power to influence those genes or those, by changing our mindset, emotions, and beliefs. So positive thoughts can actually support healing and negative thoughts can actually hold you back, right? So it's very important how we take care of our mind, because it's just like taking care of our body. If our mind is strong, our body is also strong. It's functioning accordingly. But if our mind is weak and we're constantly saying wrong things, then it's, because our one's body and mind are deeply connected. So a person may be born healthy, but chronic stress and negativity can gradually deteriorate their health. But conversely, right, oppositely, someone born with health challenges might thrive through resilience, optimism, and a positive mindset. So in many ways, disease often begins in the mind. begins in the mind. So our thoughts and emotions and stress level shape our physical well-being. Okay, so it's very important. And a classic example I have is like, I got to know this a boy. Yeah, he's about 9. No, I think he's about 22 or something like that. Okay, and I chanced upon him because I was looking for a maths tutor for my daughter, and at that time he was like, was helping out, and I think during the holidays I brought her to his place. So the father was there, the mother was there, and all that. And then I was kind of shocked because this boy, right, he's a young boy, okay, and he had lost his kidneys. Yeah, that means he has to have dialysis, and he cannot walk normally. So he has to have a kind of like a stand a crutch kind of thing to help him because he may lose balance. And if he falls, his bones can break. His bones are very brittle. So all this was like a shocker to me because I looked at him and this boy is full of positivity, despite the fact that his health is like, not good and danger, right? In the danger kind of zone, because many times he has to be admitted in the hospital unknowingly, like how long and all that. But this boy is in the uni, he's doing his university, and I mean, it's like nothing is going to stop him because his mind is so strong and powerful that it tells, even his body may be weak, but the mind is so strong. Even in the hospital, he's still going for his lessons like online and things like that. The professors are helping and things like that. You see, so you see, the power of the mind is so important. Yeah, so it's everything is up to us. So disease can originate with the mind, but the mind's role is managing, even preventing illness is like really profound, if you look at that. So the human mind is very complicated. So our body is made up of trillions of cells, and each cell has its own function to do something or the other. So our mind is the governor of all these cells. They are the ones who are controlling it, right? So if our mind is strong and healthy, and we know exactly, right, it will actually give us a healthy body and slow down and all that. Will not slow down. But if you have an unhealthy mind, it will slow down the body. Okay, even if you have a good body and all that. So you see, it's the power of the mind. There are many minds out there and many thoughts affecting the masses. So a lot of people are being influenced by a lot of things, right? So every thought creates a reaction sometimes. So must be careful what we think. Negative thought, try to push it out. And positive thought, well, work on that. So our feelings and behavior can affect the mind, bodies, and health and of those around us. We can be a positive influence on others, or we can be a negative influence on others. So it's all depends on us, right? And it's most important is when we work on ourselves, it's always important also to feed positivity. Even in a negative situation, say positive things to enhance our health, our mind, and everything else. Yeah. Okay, so what is this? NLP works by programming the mind. So many of you know what's NLP, right? It's a neuro-linguistic programming, right? And it's practiced by the Indian ritual custom since a very long time ago. So do this, you will get whatever this desire and all that. Yeah, it may be good, right? It may be good, because it explores the thoughts, the way it's being building confidence and all that. But again, it has positive and negative. So if it's used positively, it benefits us. But if it's used in a negative manner of programming the mind, then it's not very good. Yeah, so again, we must be careful what we allow to program our mind. Is it for the good or for the bad? Yeah, so important to know. Okay, auto suggestions, creating fear in oneself. So creating fear by medical specialists. Sometimes when you go to a doctor, right, and the doctor scares you, right? So recently we had a friend and he was scared by the doctor. He was perfectly normal, everything was fine and all that. But he was scared by the doctor by getting multiple calls and all that. So all these create fear. And when there's fear, the body starts also getting that, receiving the fear and reacting to that fear and all that. Yeah. So it's very important, to burn and blaze away, and at the same time contact her, to check and all that, to see, whether is it correct or not. Diagnosis is very important. Going to the doctor, getting the right diagnosis is very, very important, because from there you know exactly what to heal and how to treat and all that, right? But don't play on that fear that has been implanted there. Sometimes it's nothing there, right? Many of our PVH members who have gone like either for a lump in the breast or a cyst somewhere, they've always been like instilled with fear. Oh, you must do this, you must do that. But when they go for further checkups or go for another second opinion, it's found like nothing usually. Yeah, so it's important to always have the second opinion as well. Okay, any questions now so far? No, right? Okay, now understanding the soul. Now we are here. We are a human essence, incarnated spirit, connected to the aura, right? So the soul represents our deeper spiritual essence, basically. Okay. So in many healing, it's considered the life force that connects us with the higher consciousness. Now, the aura is viewed as an energy field surrounding the body, and that's important, right? Because it surrounds our physical body. Okay, so basically, like this, right? Surrounds us. Now, so our aura has got several layers. We have that, right? So this is our physical body, and it's surrounded by the blue color outline there, like a little shield, is our energy body. Okay, then of course you have your energy body is your etheric body. Another name for energy body is etheric body as well. Then followed by your astral body or emotional body, right? So these are all where you have all the emotions trapped there and all that. Then you have your mental body. So all these bodies are the ones that create your aura. Okay, now the emotional body. Okay, sorry. So emotional body is very important because our emotional body is our feelings, our emotions, our desires, our passions, relationships with our family members, our spouse, our, everything, friends and all that, right? So emotional body is something that stores our feelings. So every person possesses and uses his astral body, right? So this astral body is a bridge between the mind and the physical brain where feelings, passions, desires, and emotions are expressed. Sometimes they can actually be overwhelming for some people and all, right? So emotions like love, gratitude, and compassion create harmony. But negative emotions like fear, anger, grief may actually affect our well-being if they remain unresolved for a long time, stuck in the astral body. And it's very important for us to be able to look at our emotional body and to deal with them. You see, dealing with strong emotions can be scary and a real struggle for some people, right? Depending on their personality and upbringing. Correct? Some people are very strong naturally. Some people are not very strong, right? So personality again, what depends on person to person. Upbringing, the way you are brought up. Some people are brought up with the sense of like more male, masculine energy and all that, right? That kind of family they are brought up. But some are more feminine, like especially for women and all that, right? So in some families and culture, expressing emotions can be a taboo, right? I remember sometimes they will say this, right? Women must not must can be seen but cannot be heard. All these are like seen like kind of taboo, like that kind of stuff. So all these are like things that actually causes the emotion when they are not able to express themselves, right? So some people may have expectations about like feelings, like about what feelings are appropriate for a man versus what is appropriate for women, right? So emotions are not masculine or feminine. Okay, we are human. We just have to normalize them. So it's not fair to say that, oh, men must behave in such a manner and women must behave in such a manner. That's not fair, right? So it's important. You can cry, whether you're a man or a woman. You can cry because you need to let it out. There must be an outlet to let it out, right? So accepting your emotions. So some people may have difficulty accepting their emotions due to their cultural or personal beliefs, right? So it's important to understand that all feelings are valid. Everyone has to actually, reflect on their own emotions and express them, talk to someone they feel comfortable with, or talk to someone who can actually help them and all that. So you have the right to feel. You can even cry, but crying is healthy, right? It's a way of expressing many strong emotions. We always tell women as well, don't bottle it up, because we have a lot of fragile organs, like our uterus, our breast and all that, ovaries and all these are all fragile organs. And if you keep on bottling it up, bottling all the unwanted emotions from childhood all the way, it's going to take a lot of toll on the body. And that's when later in the ages, like people go through certain like breast cancer, or issues with their uterus and things like that, right? So it's very important that we express it out and let it out and all that. Okay, so crying is a healthy way to express many strong emotions. But of course, you need to understand that crying over every single thing or every disappointment in life is not normal, okay? Right? Don't cry for every single thing. You have to be strong. but at the same time, it's good to express. So you see, it's like a little thin line, right? Because I have students who cry for everything, but they cry for everything because they want to get their way, right? So after a while, this one cry, then will try to get his way out. So after a while, we'll just ignore that particular child because he cries all the time. I have one boy who comes to the field. I do field duty sometimes. All teachers do field duty. So I have one of my field duties. And this particular boy, he loves to play with everybody, but he must always have his way. So if like people tag him, like, then he's supposed to catch them, he will start crying. Then I also observe this all the time. So sometimes I'll say, you want to play, then you must also go follow the game rules. No, not cry all the time. So yeah. So sometimes crying all the time, it doesn't help. After a while, people ignore you because they don't take you seriously as well. Okay. So managing anger and self-control is also very important, right? So anger can be complicated emotions to control because sometimes it can be scary. When one is angry, you feel out of control and unable to think straight, So there is science behind it because when we are angry, our body prepares for a fight, right? And that's when our adrenal glands flush out our body with cortisol, adrenaline, and our body begins to push blood towards our muscles because getting our muscles ready to fight. So since the blood to our brain decreases at that time, we also lose the ability to think critically. Okay, so this reaction is called the fight or the flight. And it's good to leave the room to have your space to calm down, because many times these days especially, right, people have a lot of anger management issues. You don't need to say adults here. A lot of children have anger management issues, right? They cannot cope with their anger. They get angry, they just push their table down, scaring everybody in the class as well. So don't know how to manage, right? Sometimes they even roll around in the class and all that. So, we also teachers also putting, right? So sometimes, we also have to manage their anger management as well and all that. Yeah. So there's many ways to cope and all that. Yeah. So coping with stress, like especially today's teen, young adults, or even adults, right, face several stresses like, never seen before. And why all this unwanted stress? It's because of our social media, right? 24 hours the social media is there, and then 24 hours news cycle is there. Everything is on the social media. People are posting everything and people are watching everything. So the pressure to present themselves perfectly online and to process the bombardment and criticism, it's become so difficult and can take a mental toll on people, right? So it's very important that sometimes if you're not able to manage these criticism, it's good not to go into those social media and unnecessarily comment, and then you can't take the criticism, then you become affected, right? A lot of teens, a lot of young adults, they actually do have these issues also. And some of them, take the drastic issue of ending their life because they can't take the stress anymore. It's so sad. Yeah, so it's very important. Okay. And also, before we go any further, let's say, it's okay not to be perfect. Sometimes, it's not 100% true that, and honestly, everyone is posting is true, right? No one is perfect, and it's very important for us to believe that no one is perfect, right? The whole problem starts is when we want to create that perfect environment, but we can't, right? Okay, so the mental body develops the power of the memory and imagination. So it deals with thoughts, okay, and our thought forms. It deals with a lot of that. And it's very important because sometimes our thought form can become so strong that it can control us and all that. So it's very important that the mental body is responsible for thinking, reasoning, and imagination. So our repeated thoughts becomes habits. And healthy thoughts support healthy emotions. But at the same time, if you have negative thoughts, then it's not going to work together, concurrently with our health. So it's very important when we have certain thoughts that goes on, which we are so strong about it. It's very important. Okay, so again, emotions, right? So now strong aura, like, okay, right now we have seen all the way so far that we have focused on the mind, right? So the mind is very powerful. What we repeatedly think and believe can actually influence our emotions, our choices, and our overall well-being. right? It can affect our overall well-being, because emotions can affect the aura. Okay. And you see, if your strong emotion, the strong aura keeps negative energy away. Now, see, someone who's strong aura, it actually protects your own energy bodies, right? It gives you strength and positive energy. But again, if it's a weak aura, they get easily affected. Emotional exhaustion, negative influences, on top of that, social media and all these all will add on, right? So all these will actually weaken aura. Then when the aura is weak, you attract negative, not positive, right? So it's very important. So emotions influence the strength of the aura. So positive emotions strengthen the aura, while negative emotions can weaken it. So emotional state can affect the energy field, which is our aura, right? So how you feel emotionally can influence the aura itself. So healthy emotions help create a stronger, brighter aura. Like you see how colorful and bright it is, right? So very important to maintain this. And that's the part that we need. And PVH does it brilliantly, right? We have a wand to do aura cleansing and doing so many things, reading the affirmations. And, we have the soul elevation song and sit in front of the calendar, Sunday blessing. We have so much of support system. So to keep our aura strong. Again, it all depends on the individual and how we take charge of it. Okay. So emotions influence our aura. And that's very important for us to know in here, right? So can your aura be affected by emotions? Yes. Right? So aura can be affected by your emotions, and the emotions influence the strength of your aura. So positive emotions strengthen your aura, while negative emotions can weaken it. So emotional state can affect your energy field. That's what we said just now, aura. So how you feel emotionally can influence your aura, and healthy emotions create a strong aura and all that. So you see, again, basically our emotions affect our whole well-being, and positive emotions like love and showing gratitude and peace help us feel stronger and more balanced, while prolonged fear and panic and anger and sadness can leave the aura feeling very weak and drained. Okay, so developing emotional awareness and healthy coping skills, right, supports both the emotional health and our inner strength, and it's very important of looking after our aura, because sometimes when too much of when a person is constantly sad or constantly negative, right, you attract the negative souls around, and then that affects your aura, then you feel more affected, right? So it's very important to protect our own emotions, so that we keep our aura strong. Okay. Now, so how your aura interacts with energy. So your aura connects with the energy around you. So a strong aura attracts positive energy. If someone is bubbly and always, like, full of energy and and all that, then you will attract those kind of people or those kind of energy around you. But if you're always so grouchy and angry and sad and all that, you only attract those kind of energy as well. So you see, our aura can attract exactly what we want. So you can't say that, hey, how come always this it happens to me in this way? So change your energy and then attract the positivity, right? So yeah, and this can influence how you feel physically, emotionally, and mentally. Okay, so strengthen your aura. And how to strengthen your aura? Practice emotional hygiene. Very important. What is emotional hygiene? What, how we look, how do we actually, keep our emotions in a healthy way? How do we manage our emotions? Right? We have a choice. We all have a choice. You can choose to be happy or you can choose to be sad. You can choose to be sad for a day. That's okay. That's also a form of expressing yourself, right? But choose to be sad for one whole week, one whole month, one whole year. It's your choice. And that's bad. Correct? Because it's ultimately going to affect, and it's going to go into affect your mental body as well. And that's going to be like more difficult later on. So very important. So your aura interacts with the energy around you. Okay. So very important. So remember, speak positive words and practice verbal hygiene. Say nice things, right? Speak kind words, positive words, encouraging words. Don't swear, don't say negative things and all that, because that also affects the aura, right? Practice spiritual hygiene and choose positive environment. Like, so practice spiritual hygiene in the sense, like, doing the right thing, right? Don't follow gurus, or even if you follow their teachings, that's fine. But don't treat the gurus like God. So, that affects your aura as well, right? And then following occult practices or putting tattoos can also affect your energy and all that. So all these, you have to be mindful, right? So choose positive environments and all that, which can actually uplift your aura and all that, right? So protect yourself from negative energies and negative emotions and all that. Beware the negativity exists around us. There's no way you can escape, yeah, right? Any environment you go to, any place you go to, there will be 1 or 2% who will be like that, or the environment might be there like that. But then you have a choice to make it better, isn't it? You can be in an environment, in a workplace which is so negative, but you can make it positive. And how do we do that? Play the soul elevation song, have a calendar in the workplace, play soul elevation song, put the affirmations out there, play it silently, and then read the affirmations, read for your colleagues, read for the environment, read for your company, read for your workplace, and things will start changing. It may not be instantaneous, but it will eventually change, right? So remember, we have something that we can actually do, right? So let's help everyone in the workplace to make it a better environment and all. Instead of just complaining, then you're only adding on to that negativity and not positivity.
Ma'am, I would like to add one thing. Can I?
Yes, please, Mr. Kalpish.
Yeah, see, what is there that initially, if you don't see even the change in yourself after reading affirmation and doing many positive things, I believe that Shiva sir has already told us to help others. Once we start
Yes,
helping others, we start mentally become fit, and our aura definitely should improve that way. And it will
definitely.
improve our chakra, everything, balancing.
Correct.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you for adding on. Yes, of course. That's why we always do blessing. So before we even started this session today for module 7, we did the period pain blessing. We blessed, we did ocean blessing. We did Mother Earth blessing. We also did our Venezuela, we did divine fire for Venezuela and all that. So the more we bless, our aura becomes stronger and all that, which is so true what Mr. Kalpish said as well. Okay, so there's many ways to strengthen our aura. But are we doing it? That's the thing, right? So the more we do, when we make time and we do, you can see that our aura becomes stronger. Even if you can't join at that time, but people are doing it at that time zone, then you just join, because the mass blessing is always very powerful, isn't it? Because we all come together and do whatever we can. Yeah. Okay, I think there's a video here. Yes, white magic.
Yours, madam. See, they're showing the front. It's the Ajna chakra. Ajna chakra, madam. It's a very, very powerful chakra. Everything enters here. So don't let anyone touch your Ajna chakra and your crown chakra, madam. All the Indian gurus will come and they straight away touch your Ajna, madam. Don't let them touch anybody. You're not allowed. It's the point. He's putting something inside. The first thing that comes to you when somebody goes, you will try to enter here and control you. It's a subconscious mind. It's a divine flow of energy. All different chakra. Okay, so what I'm going to do, come here, madam. You also, huh? How many connections you have, huh? 1,000. All the pain is there. Good. Okay, madam. Huh? And you read this. Just read this, huh? You read this, madam. You read this. Hey, put it here. Hold it. Read. They're all reading something, huh? All holding a little card and they're reading. Yeah? Right. So now, connections gone. Connections gone. Connections gone. Okay, madam? Inhale like this. Don't close your eyes, madam. Inhale like this. What number of pain is that? 3. What happened, madam? You, madam? 5. You, madam? 5. Inhale, exhale. So now when inhaling using the prana is going to your body, just little cards. You could have read this, huh? What is English, madam? It's on Spanish. It's on Hindi. You read Hindi, you read Spanish, you read English. I got 3 cards here. One is English, one is Spanish, one is Hindi. Who read it? Your soul. Who read, madam? So, not your mind. Your mind says, I can't read it. What is this? I don't know what is this. I need my spectacles, too small to read. So, who read it? So, now the connection is gone. Connection is gone. Connection is gone. Okay, what number you have? 4. You, madam? 2. Now the body is healing itself. What we call white magic. Your soul is not accepting what's coming to you. Don't let people touch your Ajna chakra. Anybody.
Okay, so sometimes when a person has like too much of white magic, they can't think straight. So it affects them as well in the thinking, and then because it's all the head region, and when it's constantly in pain and all that, you can't think straight, right? So it's very important that you are clean from white magic. Some people will say, hey, white magic is good for me. Why mustn't I have? But you see, is it what your soul is accepting? So you have to think about that. Okay, another one, headache.
1 half. Beside nothing. No. 1 half. Huh? So she got 1 half. Okay? It's a pure migraine pain. Okay? You, madam? Migraine pain. Okay, stand here, madam. Stand here. What's the name, madam? What's the name?
Shari.
Okay. What's the name, madam? Sharon, huh? Shirley. Put it front, madam. I'm doing now. I'm saying Shirley, Ajna chakra. I'm coming and stopping here. I say Pingala Nadi, Ida Nadi, Ajna chakra, Shushumuna. That's what I'm doing now. Finish. Okay, madam? You inhale, exhale. Your pain is 10. 0 is no pain. Tell me what number of pain you have. 3. Inhale, exhale. Inhale. Nose, exhale, nose. Inhale, nose, exhale, nose. How much you have now?
0 now.
0 now.
The video is not on.
Done. My work is done, madam. Thank you very much. You can go now. Balance the flow of energy on the right and left side of the head. That's all. It is one. You can do work, it does. You can do it yourself. Anybody can do it. There's no magic here. It's migraine pain. Okay, madam? You come here, madam. You want which side? Which side pain? Which side? One side. See, one side. One side. The blood is flowing more or less on one side. You see, that's what we call the carotid artery. The artery goes here and then come back here. So when there's too much of blood flow on one side, that's your got pain. You have to balance.
But then, Chitra, the video is not visible.
Right side and left side. So left side is pain.
Is it for everybody?
So, what's the name again, madam? Huh? Sheila. I'm going now.
No, ma'am. We can hear properly.
Sheila's Ajna chakra.
Can see.
I
can see and hear.
No problem.
We can see, ma'am.
Not visible.
Ajna chakra, Shushumuna, Pingali, and Ida Nadi.
I can see and I can hear also.
Inhale, exhale. Why are you inhaling? Pranayama, taking the prana. So inhaling is very important. It's not only oxygen, but taking the prana has to breathe inside. How much the pain, madam? 10 to 0?
Not yet.
Huh?
Not yet. 0.
Number you give me, 10 is 10, doesn't matter. I'll do something else for you. 10 is 10.
Let's say it's at 4.
4. Not say, let's say, 4 is 4. You don't tell me, you say 4. Let's say, who are telling me, madam? Just the number, madam. Don't have anything in between. What number have, madam? You inhale, I say. How much? Inhale, nose, mouth, no. Mouth for talking, saying bad things about other people. Isn't that, madam? He said more good things or more bad things, madam? The mouth. Very important, madam. Mouth, madam. How much, madam? 2. Now the body is healing itself. I just balance the energy flow on the right and left side of the head. That's what I'm doing, that's all. With a wand. It's the 2. That's all. Anybody can do this. How much, madam?
0.
0. That's all. Thank you, madam. Now, madam, sit down. Now, madam, in the class, you learn to do it yourself. That's all. You learn to do it yourself. That's all. How do I do for myself? That's all. Huh?
Okay, Mr. Jasmine, right? I think maybe you want to exit and come back in. Maybe because the video can be seen, the other said. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't be seen very okay. Okay.
Maybe did you join without the video
Okay.
or something? You want to try going out and then you come back in?
Okay.
Thank you. All right. So knowledge of sensing is very important because when you know how to sense, which is the next topic tomorrow morning, we are having it at 10:30. Right, so that will be on module 8 on sensing. So that's when we will be looking at like why is it so important? Because when you know how to sense your aura, your energy body, astral body, mental body, you can find a lot of information yourself. Right, so you know the energy field, the human aura, animal energy field, plant energy field, everything can be actually found. Entities, and you know you can do so much more when you are able to sense. Okay, now we're going to look at the women's menstruational cycle, right? So, a woman's naturally, I mean, you know, the process of the cycle is about like 28 days, sometimes 29, sometimes 28, right? So hormones naturally rise and fall and all that. So the menstruation cycle is natural part of the women's reproductive health, right? So although it may vary from person to person, whether it's 28 days, that kind of thing, but it again, some people it takes 3 days, some people 5 days, some people it takes 1 week, some people bleed for 2 weeks and all that, or some even for months, right? So again, it all depends on individual. During this cycle, the hormone levels naturally rise and fall to prepare the body for pregnancy. Okay, so when someone is young and all that, it prepares them for pregnancy. Of course, you know, I mean, some of the women, I know, I read one of the article, a newspaper article, and was like the lady was in her late 60s and she was able to conceive. She conceived the baby anyway, right? So we were like, oh, wow, okay, you know. So again, the kind of food and the stress level and all that, it all plays a part, right? Now, so the hormones and emotions, hormonal changes may occur. So mood changes, tiredness, irritability, uneasiness, or discomfort, kindness and understanding will be very much appreciated, right? So, so the people in the house may need to, like, you know, understand that it's not purposely that sometimes the person is going through or, throwing, the change of mood and all that, right? Maybe when we were younger, my mother would never tolerate all these lah. But then these days, like, we are becoming more like, aware, right? So we understand that, okay, the person goes through this, and then we are more conscious and aware of that, right? Sometimes they are more tired because they're losing blood and they need rest. And sometimes they're irritable because they are also feeling discomfort and all that. So, so a bit of understanding here and there is very important. So because the hormone levels can affect how a woman feels physically and emotionally as well. Because some women may experience mood swings drastically and more tired than others. Again, you see, it's body to body, individual to individual. Again, so these experiences may vary because some women notice only mild changes, while others may experience even stronger symptoms, right? So understanding and support from the family, friends, and colleagues can make a positive differences. So sometimes even, sometimes people do wonder, right? Like, hey, why is she so grouchy? That kind of thing. Like, yeah. So a healthy diet, adequate sleep, hydration, a little exercise, walking and all that can help. Stress management, a positive mindset, and can all help in the emotional well-being during this time as well. Okay, because all these glands are actually playing a part, right? Our pituitary gland, our hypothalamus, our pineal gland, our ovaries, adrenal glands, everything is playing a part. Our uterus and everything is all secreting a kind of hormones there, and it's all working on the person and all. You're going to watch a video and that will explain clearly. Okay, your cycle in 2 minutes. Watch this, is good. So you see, poor thing, right? Women, right? We have to go through so many things, and sometimes, it's hard to explain to people, right? Like you have it, and then the kind of stuff. So yeah. So it's very important. Just like seasons change in nature, a woman's body also goes through natural monthly changes. So understanding these changes help us to care for ourselves and others with greater compassion. So the spouses can help, right? Or the people in the house can be more understanding, that, yeah, because poor thing, we also need our love and care at that time. Yeah. So women's menstruation cycle, naturally monthly process, so it takes about 28 days. Very important, you need to know. Yeah. So hormones, of course, naturally rise and falls accordingly. That's why the mood swing happens. Okay. And then of course it affects the body and the mind, and every woman experiences it differently, right? Some are more moody, some are not at all. And in the beginning, when a child is getting it, right, the puberty and all that, they can be a bit more moody and irritable and all that. Because I think in Singapore, and personally, right, most of the kids, the girls will get it about like P5, P6, and that's when the most important exam, national exam, is taking place. And so it doesn't help that they getting into puberty and the stress coming at the same time. It affects them pretty badly, right? After the exam, the national exams all are over, you can see that the children are all back to their normal self, because no stress, they work better than all. Yeah. So sometimes we have to be a bit more tolerable and understanding and all that. Okay, types of pain. There are many types of pain, right? And it's important to know there are physical pain, emotional pain, mental pain, and spiritual pain. So we have seen, like, in physical pain will be like, your hands are painful, or your knees are joint aches and all that, right? Emotional pain, someone who's feeling emotion all the time, like maybe grieving for someone, or, just sad over something that has happened, or disappointment and all that. Mental pain can be a thought form that has been created, or a part of the brain that is affected, that it's constantly playing on that, either a fear, a phobia, things like that. And spiritual pain will be like your white magic and things like that, or sometimes gray magic as well, combined with the white magic and the occult energy combined together becomes gray magic, which can also affect the person for and having causing the spiritual pain as well. Okay, emotional pain usually to do with anxiety, depression, worry, sad, and grief, etc. So they focus a lot on these days with mental health and all that, right? Because all these, if it's not taken care at the emotional body part, it goes into the mental body part. And we do not want it to go into that, because it becomes more deep rooted and it becomes much more difficult. So emotional pain is real and deserve compassion. So if you see someone having an emotional pain, or reaching out to you for support, do make time and speak to them, and things like that, because you may be the only person that they are reaching out in confidence. So and that gives them a solace and peace of mind for them, and all that. Or if not, at least if you are not able to, there's so many helplines these days, right? You can just direct them to the particular helpline, and it's confidential anyway. Nobody knows who they are, and nobody's going to ask for the information, but they have a support system where they can actually talk and all that, right? So, and these days, poly students, they go for a lot of competitions and all that. They create apps on, like, how they can have a better mental wellness and all that. And these kind of apps actually also help for people to download, and they can actually speak on the app to sort of like, um, share their emotions. If they can't speak to a person, at least they have someone to share with. Because sometimes people talking to someone else can be judgmental, or that person may tell someone else, and the worry is always there. But sometimes talking to a helpline or getting into an app that can actually help may help some people or the other, right? So it's important to reach out for help. So pills for depression and anxiety, yeah, there's all sorts of medicines out there. Okay, but are they permanent cure, right? Because sometimes these are only temporary cure, right? Because the dosage has to increase, right? So it's not going to be good in the long run, right? Okay. And also, of course, you have the mental pain, and the mental pain can actually be like persistent fear, panic, phobias, confusing thoughts, sometimes hearing voices, or feeling unsafe can also be like, traumatic for people, right? So sometimes certain people become lunatic, astral rape like for both male and female, the presence of that negative energy, hearing voices and all that can be quite disturbing for people because they can't concentrate, they can't work because something is telling them all the time, and it's playing continuously, right? And PVH is so brilliant because I think in PVH we have helped so many people with that. In Singapore itself, we have helped like 3-4 families with this kind of issues and all, hearing voices constantly, playing music in their ears, telling them to do things and all that, and talking in different languages even and all. So yeah, so feeling someone is always around also is kind of scary. Some people just feel that something is just following them and all that. Intense thought of taking one's life, right? And that's why in when we do our period pain blessing time, we also included suicide healing and all that, because for in Singapore case, so told us to do it because the rate is high. Many of it goes unrecorded, but to decrease and to help as many people as we can. So Dave Key will actually do that part when we do the blessings and all that. There are all sorts of panic and phobia and all that. People are scared of things. It can be water phobia. It can be anything. Some people are just has phobia of everything, right? So it's the kind of fear that needs to be out as well, taken out. Mental illness is real. It's an invisible disease. You may not be able to see. The person may look perfectly normal to you, talking happily and everything, but inside the person is going through that suffering alone in silence, right? So it's very scary, but it's good to identify. And if the person is going through such things, always ensure that the person is not alone. Like there's a support system. Of course, it's always good to ask them to go and look at professional help, because you can't be there all the time. So getting professional help will help them, because some mental conditions, right, require professional diagnosis and treatment. So seeking help is a sign of strength, not weakness, because if you are willing to get help, that shows that you want to heal yourself, you want to get better and all that. So that is a sign of strength, not weakness at all. So healing can be complement, right, with getting your professional help at the same time. Healing and all, it will be complementary and the person heals faster. So very common medical diagnoses for mental issues will be like bipolar, schizophrenia, and all these, right? So these are issues. Sometimes some people with split personality, hearing voices, certain conditions, or people coming for them and attacking them and all that. All these can actually be fear and all. So sometimes it can happen to anyone, and sometimes when it all starts, sometimes it can be from childhood or some traumatic experience that actually caused it, so it all depends, again, person to person, situation to situation. It's not like one thing will fit all and we can judge and all that. No. Okay, so bipolar, sometimes with different personalities and all that, they can actually be confusing people as well, right? So sometimes we also notice sometimes, right, like, well, 1 minute they're so happy, 1 minute they're not. Then we're like, we will call them onion. Yeah. So but anyway, so other psychotic disorder, where are those voices coming from? Sometimes they are confused. Where are these? Why is that constantly I'm hearing something and I don't know who am I, who's talking to me? The radio told me to free all the zoo animals. Suddenly they got these kind of messages, or aliens are contacting the person, or they saw elephants under the bed, or they are following me and all that. So sometimes some people just go through this, but it's always good to be kind and get them to get help. Yeah, because sometimes it can be overwhelming for the person who's giving the care, like a caregiver. So it's always very good to find a professional help who can actually help this in a better way and all. Yeah, causes of emotional stress can be work environment, family, friends, peer pressure, and sometimes looking at social media also. Like your friends are doing so much better than you, and you all started off at the same time, and you're wondering like, hey, why that person is able to do this and I can't, and all that are unnecessary self pressure. Everyone have their own timeline, right? Everyone grows in their own timeline, so not one timeline fits all and all. Yeah, financial pressure, debt or budgeting and all that, community, social isolation. Some people are always isolated from others and all that. So that also becomes kind of like, difficult for them, emotional stress. Even children, okay, you'll be so surprised. Even children, sometimes they can be so mean to another, right? They don't want to be friends with this person, and then they isolate. Oh, you cannot play with us. You cannot take this. You cannot touch this, and all that. So sometimes we have to step in. And it's either you play together, or if not, you're not going to play. So we have to be firm to make sure they mingle and all that. But of course, sometimes the reason why they're also isolated also have many reasons, because some child can be quite difficult to get along as well. So again, you have to see the two sides of the coin, and then come up with the right solution for that situation and all that. All right. So life events, major transition, maybe moving from one country to another for a work or for studies and all that. It can be quite traumatic for some people, because the coping mechanism, like for an example, a student going overseas. Like for me, I was like a very protected child, right? So I have actually, my parents have never let me out on my own for, go overseas on my own. But when it came to university, I went on my own. So I went alone and all that. And it was pretty scary in the beginning, but of course it made me more independent and stronger. I think if I had been just in Singapore, I may not have been what I am, but because making me going overseas alone and learning and all that, I think I became more independent and all that. So it's got pros and cons, but of course in the beginning, I was like all alone going into a new country, not knowing anything, and then it's a bit of coping and adjusting as well. New friends, new environment, and all that stuff. Okay, psychotic medication. So some of these medication can be harmful to the body as well. Right? I mean, at the same time, it can be good to help the person to recover. But at the same time, over a dose on them can actually be difficult. Like for an example, children these days, right? So I have students, like sometimes they do have a condition called ADHD. And when they have medication, when they take the medication, they are so good. Okay, they can be so good that, you won't even know that, oh, this is that child, right? But when the medicine wears off, they are totally different children. Okay, it is the behavior and it's beyond their control. No, it's not they want to do it on purpose. It's just that they just cannot. And sometimes when the parents go to the doctors, because the teachers have to teach and the child has to learn, right? And when the dosage have to be increased or taken twice, or the medication has to be just increase in the dosage basically, or the intensity of it, right? It affects the child in the sense they become more focused and attentive, but at the same time it hinders their growth. They can't grow taller. They're very small sized. They're not hungry. The appetite shrinks. So there are other forms of side effects of the medicine as well. So again, so we always try to find a balance and all that. So with PVH, we must be thankful that we have a want to heal, do Ida Pingala several times to make sure that, the Ajna chakra is it's balanced, and their base chakra is in the correct range, so that they are more focused and all that. So concurrently with healing and medication will help, so that one do not have to increase the dosage and all that. Of course, there are people who also take anxiety pills and all that, and we do have many who have got anxiety issues. But you begin with it, but eventually the amount decrease until you come to a point that you don't have to do it. Because again, you see the side effects is like you feel sedated, dizziness, dry mouth, and all these, So so sometimes all these medicines have side effects. But of course, we can clean the medicine. But again, how much can you clean the toxic energy, right? So it's always good to go slow, go low on them. Take it to a certain time until to a period. Then after that, you go free without it. And that's what we all try to achieve, right? So we want to be pain-free and free from drugs as well. Now, so all this is only possible when you have the right food, the right emotions, and balanced your emotions and lifestyle will help. Okay, with having the wrong food, sometimes all these junk food and all that doesn't help. Sometimes even after recess, I even ask my students, what did you all eat before your recess? Because when they come back, they are amazingly restless. Okay, so don't know whether how much sugar they have put inside themselves, or whatever that they have overdosed or indulged in, that actually creates that restlessness, and sometimes it becomes difficult to teach. And yeah, so it's very important. Food plays a major part. And of course, the medicine and medication, you don't want to be like this. Eventually we want to be free from this, right? And anger, so someone who's constantly angry and all that, and throwing out the words, and the verbal hygiene, very important, right? And of course, all those pain that one goes through, physical pain and all the back pain, headache, shoulder, all these also affects the health and all that. And desires, right? I want to be this, I want to be that, and I want to do exactly what the other person has. Let's be contented. Okay, of course you must have your goal and you must challenge yourself, but don't challenge to yourself to the point that you become so stressed that you can't even achieve what you can. You know what I mean? So always balance. Okay, work up the ladder slowly, and possible, everything is possible, okay, with the right energy and strength. Okay, women and emotion. Okay, so women and emotion are one thing that can affect a lot of things. Like for example, the women and emotional health. So hormones can affect them, stress, childhood experiences, relationships, nutrition, support system. And it's always good to affirm with, I'm deeply, completely, and consciously accepting myself, right? So again, we saw like just now, hormones. So whether it's menstruational or pre-menstruational, or menopausal and all that, anything, all these affects the women's hormones and all that. So and again, it doesn't affect everyone the same way. Each individual differ, everyone is unique, so everyone has their own tolerance range and all that, right? So again, it differs from person to person. Stress level, how the person copes. Some people may have more stress than the other, right? Depending on the kind of roles they have to play in their house, right? Maybe even in country wise, right? Someone in another country may have more stress than another person in another country, right? Or even a different race. A particular race may not be so stressed compared to another person who has more stress. And right, so childhood experience, again, some people, the childhood could be really traumatic, right? Like they like and when they are young, they're always like seen as like not important, not given the importance, because the male it's a more male dominant or patriarchal family kind of thing. So so that kind of the woman being suppressed all the while in her childhood can also be a traumatic and all that, and it affects their emotional health, right? So it again depends. Nutrition, the kind of food they take and all, and support system. Okay, these days maybe the support system is a bit better when women and men work, and not all men may do this, but generally with a better generation understanding, it may help the women and the men to share out their household chores and all that, right? Because family, it takes two people to bring the children and to do work together, isn't it? Not just one person do everything. But of course, it again differs from race to race. Yeah. So yeah, I have no comments on that. Okay. Right, so emotional issues, sometimes not comfortable being a woman, so negative thoughts, suicidal thoughts and all that can actually affect, because of overly emotional stuck inside their emotional body, not letting it out, right? So sometimes some people could be actually suffering from depression, anxiety, sadness, fear, and they do not know how to get it out of their system. Like some food can affect emotional issues as well. And childhood trauma, sometimes we know a few childhood trauma which can be really traumatic, which I cannot share here, but but it can be quite scary. So for a person at a young age to experience certain things, it can be very traumatizing as the person is growing up in their and when they are adults, and sometimes these can become difficult, right? So it's not just women, it can be men as well, right? Both men and women go through emotional stress and issues and all that. So it's both fair amount, right? So some of the ladies' problems. So many ladies we meet today always ask, why are they born, and why were they born as ladies, why they got married, or why did they have kids, what kind of family they have, hope they can end their life soon, and fear of spouse, why did they marry this man. So a lot of fear in them, a lot of grievance inside that is bottled up, not able to open up and share and things like that. So it becomes very difficult. So that's why PVH family, it's a beautiful family, because somehow sir is so understanding. So our founder is so understanding and empathetic towards women, right? And he exactly knows, like, like how much they are doing and all that. And there's so much of blessings that sir always do for women, mothers on Mother Earth, and everyone, right? So we are really blessed in that sense as well. And we have a very good support system, right, in our PVH family itself. Whether it doesn't matter in which part of PVH and which country we are from, but we do have a nice support system. Any women or ladies who are going through, they can always call someone and share, and it becomes like a little family. And and it's always confidential. We keep it among ourselves. Of course, we must keep it among ourselves, because the poor ladies are opening up to share their someone they want to talk to. So it's not for us to go and tell it to everybody, and that's not nice at all, right? So everyone needs some form of support system. And I think PVH has a beautiful support system, right? I think personally, many of us have been encountered, like, people coming to us and telling us things and all that. Yeah. So everyone experiences these emotions. So the goal is not to suppress them, but to acknowledge them, because you need to process them in a healthy way. Then only you can seek support when needed. If you can't even process them in a healthy way, right? And you're always suppressing, no, I mustn't let it out, I mustn't let it out. One day it's going to explode. And that's when people do drastic things that they can't even believe that this person will do, right? Because it's been suppressed for too long and all. So yeah, so like many life situations contribute to emotional stress, and understanding the source allows us to respond more wisely and seek appropriate help and all that. So taking the warn, and I'm deeply, completely, and consciously accepting myself is so important, right, to say. That's why we have a beautiful ladies affirmation, which is an emotional freedom healing, right? And when you read in the beginning, it says there, I'm not being, I don't want to be a woman, it's like, if you say everything negative about being a woman and all that, and after that, then you say all the positive things about being a woman, right? I sometimes feel sorry for being a woman, I'm disappointed for being a woman. In this lifetime, I'm deeply, completely, and consciously accepting myself. Being a woman, I'm undergoing many disappointments. First my period, so much of pain, so much of discomfort, then menopause, then all the people around me, mother-in-law, sister-in-laws, husband, boyfriends, and male colleagues, then all the things that I cannot do because I'm a woman. I feel helpless, frustrated, hurt, not wanted. No one seems to understand what I'm going through. I'm deeply, completely, and consciously accepting myself. That's the magic word, Okay, so but what can I do? God, this is your divine plan and divine directions for my soul's many lives. I'm deeply, completely, and consciously accepting myself. God, I'm accepting your divine plan and divine directions. The soul within me is not a woman or a man. In this lifetime, we are a woman. Next lifetime, we may be a man. And men, this lifetime, you are a man, but next lifetime, you might be a woman. So, again, it's not fixed. I always tell that to my son too. All right. Like he says, no, I don't want to be a woman. But anyway, I think it's not a choice. Okay. Everybody has to go through something or the other, isn't it? So I'm deeply, completely, and consciously accepting myself. God, I'm accepting your divine plan and divine directions. The soul within me is not a woman or a man. I'm your divine spark. I am your child, and I'm deeply, completely, and consciously accepting myself. God, you know that only by being a woman in this life, I'm able to balance my karma so that I can go towards you, merge with you, and become one with you. I'm deeply, completely, and consciously accepting myself. God, thank you for making me a woman in this lifetime. I'm deeply, completely, and consciously accepting myself. God, thank you, thank you, thank you. So those women who need more emotion or are more emotional, it's good to read like 2 to 3 times a day, right? Because it really helps to balance your emotions and of course, and reach out for help. Okay, they think they cannot manage or no one can help them. So many of them do this, they suffer in silence because they do not know who to go out to and who to reach out to, right? And we can be a little light in someone's life, right? We don't have to do big things in life, but we can be a little light. Someone it's sad and sitting there alone and crying, you can just, say, are you okay? A simple, or just smile at them, are you all right? Or give them a tissue and all that. They may open up and share, right? So let's be kind. And that's what's important, Okay, there's no medicine for this type of disease. So community need to help, right? We look out for each other, right? Of course, there's counseling groups, family and friends, keep them occupied and all that. Very important, right? Don't leave them alone, because sometimes you do not know what they're thinking, what's going on in their mind. And if they don't open up, it's very difficult. Some people just assume we are mind readers. And I always tell people, I am not a mind reader. If you want something, or if you want me to do something, please tell me. Because I cannot be assuming that, oh, you want this or that or the other. I like people who are straightforward. They tell me what they want, and I see what I can do, right? Instead of like playing the mind guessing game, it's very difficult, it's very tiring too, because you may end up guessing the wrong stuff, isn't it? Okay, so EFH for headache caused by emotions. Yep, so that's now where, you can actually do this. Take the wand in front of your ajna and say, I have these issues with people around. My body feels differently. I don't know why. It's maybe the energy of people around me, a lot of people around me. Everybody's energy is different. I'm deeply, completely, and consciously accepting myself. People can have different emotions. Some can be sad, some can be angry, and some have anxiety. And some have many things I do not understand. Some will be smokers, some with alcohol issues or anything. I'm deeply, completely, and consciously accepting myself. I cannot control this world. I cannot be in a clean environment all the time. Yeah. What can I do? I'm deeply, completely, and consciously accepting myself. God, give me this strength to my soul to overcome this. I'm a being of divine fire. I'm the purity God desires. My soul is soul of divine fire. My soul is the purity God desires. Then God, thank you, thank you, thank you. So, there's some things that you can actually take charge and do it. So sometimes it's not just EFH as well. Consciously, you have to make an effort that, come out of the system. Sometimes people are in that trauma for a long period of time, right? Maybe, it's not like 1 year or 2 years. Some could have been like, from childhood. So coming to PVH, you can't instantly, everything becomes overnight. You have to work on yourself. And of course, sitting for the blessings and doing the needful, blessing nature, and doing good and all that. And coming out of that and finding a new hobby, doing something different and all that will actually help to come out of that whole entire situation. Yeah. So sometimes it's not just magic. Some people take longer, some people take faster. It all depends on the, the situation and the personality as well. Okay, so of course you got healing emotions with the PVH wand and all that. Okay. And then, of course, an idle mind is the devil's workshop. Never leave your mind idle, because the people keep on constantly thinking, and replaying whatever that has happened. And it's not necessary. The more you replay the negative, the more it becomes stronger. And you are like, creating a stronger impact in your nervous system, in your brain, and all that. So you don't want that. So don't keep yourself idle. Just go and do something, get out of the house, do a new hobby, go and join some social club, or do something that actually amazingly will change you, right? I have a colleague. I have a colleague. He's quite traumatic life experience he has, because he has got a son, and the son was actually in secondary school. All of a sudden, right, he lost his sight. That means that boy, he just had fever. And that fever, I do not know what happened, but it was kind of a viral fever that actually burnt his eyes. So he can't see, that boy. So, and it was a great setback to my colleague, who actually confided in me and was telling me about it and all that. And he picked up painting. Okay. And he's now opened up his new YouTube channel, painting, and I love clouds. Yeah. So he sent me a picture that he drew of clouds. So then, I said, wow, very nice and all that. So I said, can you draw trees? I like trees too. So then he said, okay, his next one, he's going to draw trees. So, he keeps his mind occupied. Of course, the son is very strong. He's in the university now. Okay, despite being, blind and all that didn't deter him. They have a special computer arranged, which speaks and all that. So he does his work and all that. And my colleague says that he actually learns a lot from his son, because when that point of time when this happened, he was devastated. He thought, wow, what is this? And even now he has to take leave. His son is like in his late 20s, huh? Right? Early 20s, 23, 24. But he's in his 60s. He will take leave and bring the son to the hospital for the medical checkup and all that. If he can't make it, then the when he's got classes and all that, his wife will actually bring the son and all that. So, he said that actually seeing the son in this situation and seeing how he has fought for his life and how he has done so well coming up and going to the university level and all that, he is like, wow, this is nothing for him. Like, if his son can do it, why not him? And all that. Yeah, see, this is how you get the strength from. Not like, oh my God, this has happened and that's the end of the life and you dwell on it and then you're not going to get anywhere, right? So there are a lot of people out there with a lot of, courage and determination. So persistence and perseverance is the key, man. So believe you can do it. I must be in control of myself. If I give up, who's going to have hope on me, man? Right? Remember, we have to believe in ourselves in order for other people to believe in us. Isn't it? I always tell my children that. You have to believe in yourself in order for other people to believe in you. Right? So you must believe you can do it, even if it's impossible. You feel like, hey, you can't do this or whatever. There's no such thing. Always try. There are other ways to learn and try and to be in control. You can do it. Right? Like with this child.
I had to share this video with you because when I started watching it myself, I said there's no way that this baby is gonna reach the top of this rock climbing wall. That's insane. Babies are not rock climbers, and I was totally wrong. When I started watching it, I didn't know what to expect, but somehow the baby has the bravery to climb up that wall, and I know they have the protective mats there and the parents are right there, but still, it's amazing. And it goes to show you the people who get stuff done, it's not necessarily because they are stronger. This is just a baby, right? It doesn't mean they're smarter, but the people who do stuff are so often just the ones who try and the ones who work hard. That's the big secret.
Right? It's a beautiful video, isn't it? Whether you can or cannot is in your hands here. Your life does not depend on anybody, right? You're the master of your own destiny. If you think you can do it, you can do it. If you think you cannot, then you have already given up, right? So if you don't try, you never know. So no two people can see the world exactly the same, but our beliefs shape our decisions and reactions. So being open to learning allows us to grow and make healthier choices. So positive thought can heal you, or negative thoughts can kill you, isn't it? So the same thing, right? The baby, the baby, because the thing is, the baby has no fear. If you look at it, right, when we are younger, we will go on the roller coaster, right? We are not fearful, isn't it? I mean, when I was young, I even took the 360. I think when I was secondary school, I went with my best friend and her mom, and we were not. I was not. I my friend were not even scared. But now you ask me to go, yeah, I'll be scared, because even when I have to go with my daughter, I'll close my eyes. It's true. So I guess, as you get older, you get, I think, somehow the fear sets in and all that. But yeah, that's a roller coaster. So not something I really like. Yeah. So change your perception and change your belief system. And that's very important, right? Because your perception, it's how you look at things. And that will help you to change your belief system. Let's watch.
You are made out of 50 trillion cells. So you are a community, not a single person. Every cell has about 1.4 volts, not too much. 50 trillion cells in the body times 1.4 volts is 700 trillion volts of electricity in your body. But your mind is the government for the 50 trillion cells. So if you change your thought and your mind, you can change the biology. And the mind is the primary cause of illness on our planet today. If you change your perception, you change the reading of your genes. If someone tells you you're going to have a disease and you believe that, then you can create the disease. Perception can rewrite the genetic code. So perception controls life. No two people see the world in the same way. They have different perceptions. And sometimes your perceptions can be right, and sometimes your perceptions can be wrong. Since perception controls biology, and since they can be right or wrong, then it's more accurate to say that belief controls biology. What you believe creates your life on the inside and on the outside. You are responsible for what unfolds in your life.
Right? It's so true, isn't it? Right? So perception and belief. Remember, we are a community, not just a single person. We are a community of cells. So yeah. Okay, so change your thoughts and you can change your cell biology. So our mind is the cause of many of our health issues, because we believe that, once you're stuck with this disease, the doctor has told you, you're stuck with it all the way. But it's not true. If you change your lifestyle and the diet and getting better and, do exercise and manage your well-being, you can actually become better. The disease cannot even be there. It is not like permanently stuck with you sometimes, especially those with like diabetes and blood pressure. Change of lifestyle really helps. Okay, change the mind and your cells will start to change as well. So everyone has different perception and see things differently. Sometimes your perception can be right and sometimes can be wrong, right? So no two persons can have the same perception. Remember, no two people, because our thoughts influence our behavior, stress level, and lifestyle choices and all. Okay, so you are responsible, or we are responsible for what unfolds in our lives, right? So causes of negative thought forms: emotional state, habitual patterns, external influences, self-perception, how we look at things, unresolved issues, lack of awareness. All this actually affects, and all these thought forms stick to the aura, which resonates with your thoughts, your emotions, and affects the energy and all. Yeah. So emotional thought forms. So your emotional mind, your rational mind, and your habitual mind, body mind, right? So every time when you keep on having the same repeated pattern of or thinking patterns, it becomes you. It becomes, and if it's positive, it makes you better. If it's negative, it makes nothing changes, it becomes worse, right? So it's very important how we focus on the right thing, right? And get better at it. Okay, so PVH protocol to overcome trauma and let the body heal out by itself: eat lighter food, right? Prana rich food, breathing exercises. The cells need the oxygen, and our body needs a lot of oxygen and all that, right? So relaxing moments to repattern the system, reading affirmations, forgiveness affirmations, I am that I am light, all these to spiritual affirmations to be more aligned, healing emotions with the wand, and so on forth. Yeah. So quiz time. Okay, now let's look at our quiz. Okay, now the mind is considered powerful because it A, controls only physical movement, B, influences thought, behavior, emotions, behavior, and healing.
B.
Okay, very good. Right, everyone is okay? Okay, good. Yeah, so our mind is considered powerful because it influences our thought and behavior, right? You're right. Which statement best explains how the mind can be programmed?
A. Through repeated thoughts, beliefs, and experiences.
Yes, that's right. So through repeated thoughts, right? Beliefs and experiences. Yes, not through physical exercise alone, but repeated thought. Keep on saying the same thing again and again and again. It becomes part of you, right? So if you keep saying the positive things, it will become part of you and you become like that. But if you keep repeating the negative things, that's what becomes also. So you see, so must be careful what we say, right? Which of the following is an example of limiting belief?
Okay. Nothing can cure me.
Exactly,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, B.
Yeah, because it limits your belief system, isn't it? Because you believe that you cannot be cured. So of course, even the best doctor comes, the best medicine also cannot cure you because you believe in that you cannot be cured, right? So the placebo effect demonstrates that
Sugar pills cure disease.
B.
B.
B. B.
A.
okay, placebo effect. So placebo effect, it's more of thinking positive. Like someone gives you a sugar pill, you think this sugar pill is going to be a cure for your medicine, and you believe it, so your body starts healing. But it's not the sugar pill that cured you, right? It is the positive expectations that can support the body's healing response because you believe this can help you, and that's why it healed you. So B is the correct answer. Yeah. Okay, a nocebo effect is totally the opposite, right? It's most closely associated with
Fear and negative expectations.
yes, fear and negative expectations, right? Okay, so that's nocebo, which is the opposite of placebo. Okay, now which situation best illustrates the nocebo effect?
B.
B. B. No.
Okay, a patient becomes well because they believe the treatment will not work. Yeah, it's true, right? Because nocebo, right? That means the person already believes like they cannot be helped, right? So of course it's B, right? Because in this case, A, it says the patient improves after believing a harmless tablet is medicine. So believes, right, but doesn't believe in nocebo effect, right? So B is correct. Okay, according to the holistic healing, a strong aura is believed to
Protect
take more
against
steps.
It is B.
Yes, very good. B is correct. Help protect against negative influences, right? Good. Correct. Which habit best supports emotional hygiene?
B. Practicing fitness and emotional balance.
Yes, correct. Emotional hygiene. Okay, practicing forgiveness and emotional balance, right? Very good. Verbal hygiene encourages us to speak less, speak positively, mindfully, and respectfully. Speak loudly and positively. Okay, good. Yes,
Speak
you're right.
positively, mindfully, and responsibly.
Yes, so B is correct. Very good. Now, spiritual hygiene includes
reading. I just watched today. I don't know the gray one.
It's uplifting environment.
Just
So
reading.
I think it is A.
yeah, that's right. Going to the right places that doesn't affect your energy, and then following the right thing and things like that, right? And all. Yeah. So choosing the uplifting environments. Okay. Emotional body primarily expresses what?
B. B.
Very good. B is correct. Okay. Now the mental body is responsible for developing
Again B.
B is the answer.
Right? Okay, so memory and imagination is correct. Okay, very good. Okay, now let's look at which statement best describes the soul?
B. The human essence and
B.
Yes, a human essence or incarnated spirit, right? Which of the following may weaken a person's aura?
C.
Distant fear and anger.
Yes, constantly being angry and fearful and all that will only attract that kind of energy. You're right. Which is not considered one of the 4 types of pain?
Financial.
Financial.
Good. Yeah, you all are very alert. Very good. Yes, that's right. Okay, so financial, financial. Yeah, it is not the one, right? Anxiety, grief, and sadness are examples of
Emotional pain.
yes.
Anxiety, grief, and sadness.
Correct. Yes, emotional pain. Very good. Okay, next one. Which of the following is an appropriate support for emotional distress?
All of the
All of the above. B. All of the above.
D.
Okay, so D is correct. Yes. So all of the above, because appropriate support. I think I can hear myself. Let me mute.
C.
Okay. Yes. So D, D is correct, right? All of the above. Now, persistent panic, hearing voices, or severe confusion should be
C.
correct.
C.
Right? Yes, very good. All right, assessed by qualified healthcare professional and seek a healer, right? Very good. Okay. Psychotropic medications primarily work by
B.
I drink brain chemicals that regulate mood and emotion.
yes. Correct. Very good. Hey, you guys are very good, lah. Yeah, you're right. Okay, so yeah, altering the brain chemicals. So it's helping to produce like something, to help them to regulate the mood.
Bipolar disorder.
Okay, mood stabilizers are most commonly prescribed for. Yes, you're right. Bipolar disorder. Okay, good. Now, women's emotional health may be influenced by
All of the above.
D. All of the above.
yes, all of the above, right? Because hormonal changes also creates emotional health, and changes in the way they look at things, and then childhood experiences, relationships. You're right, all of the above. Now, the affirmation I deeply, completely, and consciously accept myself promotes.
B.
Very good.
B. Self-acceptance.
Yes.
B.
B, right? Self-acceptance. Yes, you're right. Now, which factor can contribute to emotional stress?
All of the above.
All of the above. D.
All of the above.
D.
Yeah, all of the above, right? Yeah, because work environment can be very stressful, right? Then family also can be quite stressful if everyone needs a part of you and all that. So it becomes very stressful. Financial pressure, yeah, paying this and that and the other. You're right. According to the holistic healing, beliefs can influence.
C. Thoughts, behavior, and overall well-being.
Yes, that's right. C is correct. Okay, thoughts, behavior, and overall well-being. You're right. Okay, now which sequence best represents holistic healing?
A. Thoughts, emotions, behavior, health.
No, actually.
Anyone with any other answers?
Exercise.
C. Yes, okay. Exercise, soul, and mind. Exercise, soul, and mind.
Okay, but the thing is, everything begins with the
Thought form.
mind, right? And then the thoughts are also formed in the mind. So A will be because the mind, and then from there you process the emotions and behavior, then it leads to healing and all that. Okay, a woman is experiencing a prolonged stress, negative self-talk, anxiety, disturbed sleep, and social withdrawal. So according to the healing model taught in this module, right, our module 7, which is the best approach?
C.
C.
Okay, very good. Yes, support her body, mind, emotions, and spiritual well-being, right? While encouraging counseling and appropriate medical healthcare and of course healing, right? Yeah, very good. You're right. Okay, a patient says, my doctor said I never recover. So the patient immediately loses hope and stops treatment. And this is an example of
Nocebo effect.
E. Nocebo effect. Nocebo
Correct.
effect.
Yes. So it becomes a nocebo effect.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, good. Now, general exam questions. So what is the normal temperature of the human body? Explain why maintaining this temperature is important.
37.
Yeah, so usually it's 36.7 to 37, right? It is still under the normal range, right? Okay. Now, why is it important? Because this temperature helps the body to work properly. Because if the temperature is too low or too high, the body can get sick. And then the body keeps the temperature steady using actions like sweating to cool down, or sometimes when you switch off the fan and then you just sweat it out and you feel like, wow, you can feel the heat is out, right? You start sweating. Or sometimes when you cover up and all that and then you start shivering. So, so it's a body way of coping mechanism. Video. So one decision can change your life. Look at the fish. If it's stuck in the same pond, it will never see the ocean. Correct? So just like us, by reaching out and coming to do the PVH Diploma, it's a way of coming out of your comfort zone. For many people, it may not be like something that, you might be thinking, hey, I don't want to do this, why am I doing, that. But coming out of your comfort zone and learning new things is actually good for your brain, because you are creating more new brain cells and they're making new connections, and that's actually keeping you healthy, right? So always learn something new, and that's the best thing that we can do for our own mind and brain and all that, keeping us alert. So if you realized how powerful your thoughts are, you would never think a negative thought, right? Because it is so important that our thoughts influence our behavior and stress levels and lifestyle choices. So positive thinking alone is not a cure for illness, but cultivating hope and constructive thoughts can support healthier habits. And of course, it complements with healing, isn't it? And all. So health is not just about what you're eating. It's also about what you're thinking and saying all the time. If you keep saying the negative stuff to yourself, and that's what you're going to be. But if you start looking after the lifestyle and the way you think, if your group of friends are always negative, then find new friends, man. Right? Or, make them positive, or even you leave the group and, you find something else to do, that because it's your health and your life and your choice too. So with that, we come to the end of module 7. So thank you. We ended on time today. Yay!
Thank you so much, Chitra.
Thank you, Chitra ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Teacher. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Good night,
Good night.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.